Okay, let's carry on from where we left off then. So we've just put on a buy trade. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to replace this arrow just so we don't get confused. I'm going to use this type of arrow. So we've put on a buy trade and our take profit is up here. And this zigzaggy line now represents the market, okay? So this is the candles. The market is now going to drop. Each time price reaches another level, all you have to do is make the decision. Do I want to add another buy trade or not? If you don't want to add a buy trade, you don't have to. Now, why would you not add a buy trade? Well, you might decide that this level here, if I just press Alt and H, we can see it's had a couple of little bounces and it's been tested as resistance. If we just scrunch up and have a look back, it's not a great level. It's not been a major turning point in the market other than this drop that sort of happened, okay? Price is just sort of sitting sideways on this level. So you might say, I don't like this level. This isn't the best level on the chart. I'm not going to add another buy trade here. That's absolutely fine. You could then wait for the next level, and maybe you think this level here is a much better level, in which case then you stick on your buy trade, okay? And that's literally all you have to do is you choose which levels you are going to, let me scrunch up a bit, add trades if you're wrong. So point number 3, you're just choosing when you want to add trades and when you don't want to add trades. Now, let me do a quick example so you can see how the maths actually plays out. Let me get rid of this one as well. Let's have a look at a very, very simple example. And in fact, I'll zoom in so this is like super clear. We put this buy trade on, okay? So at this point here, we buy and we think price is going up here. So this point is where our TP is set. And if price goes down, we're going to add another trade. So let's see what that looks like. Price does not in fact go up, it drops down. So at this, whoops, let's try that again. This arrow hates me. I'm going to use this one. Price goes down, reaches this level, and you decide you're going to put another buy trade on. Now what happens next? Price comes back up and it reaches this point here. So what is the situation at this point here? Well, here's our entry for trade 1. So this is now at break even. Our entry for trade number 2 is now in a profit. So if you add a break even and a profit together, you get a profit. Let me give you an example. This could be, let's say this distance here is worth $10, okay? At the point you put on trade 1 here, you're at break even. Then you go to minus $10, you put trade 2 on, price comes back up. So trade 1 is now at $0, okay? And this one that you put on down here has now made $10. $10 profit, $0 equals $10 if you add the two together. So the result now is a profit. Even though you thought price was going to go up and it actually went down and then came up, you still made a profit. So even though you were wrong, you ended up making a profit. Now then, this is a very, very sort of simple example. What I'm going to do is just get rid of these blue arrows, otherwise we're going to have loads of them when I do this next example. So what happens if it goes further? Well, let's do another example then. Let's imagine that again, we thought the market was going to go up, but this time it went down 1, 2, and then it pops up. So what would it be this time round? Well, you would still have this buy trade on. You would have this buy trade on, and I'm assuming that you just decided to buy at every level in this example. And then you would also have this buy trade on. And then this is where you could close. Why could you close here? Well, this trade, again, assuming each level is $10. This trade has made $10. This trade has made $0. And this trade is minus $10. So 10 plus 0 plus minus 10 is again 0. This is break even. So you can exit right now if you want to, close all 3 trades for break even, okay? Dead simple. You can also hold and see if it comes up, back up further, and if it does, you actually make a bigger profit. Why do you make a bigger profit? I'm just going to switch to this type of arrow and I'm just going to change the color. So this one is, let's assume that a green arrow is a winner or a break even. This one would have closed here. That's also a winner. And this one would have also closed here. So this one has made $10, $20. This one has made another 10, so that's now $30. And this one is at break even. So that is now a $30 profit. You thought the market was going to go up. It actually went down 2 zones and came back up 2 zones. So again, you were completely wrong. And again, you made a profit. Okay. So it should be pretty straightforward now, pretty simple to understand how the strategy can make money even when you're wrong. So this is point 3 that we've now covered. Sometimes you will pick a direction and you'll be wrong, it will go the other way, and all you need to do is wait for a move like this where the market eventually corrects and retraces, and then you can get out of the profit. Now then, let's have a look at point number 4. Where has it gone? There it is. Okay, so point number 4, so let me sort my chart out, is to set a loss limit or a point of exit. So what's a loss limit? Well, a loss limit can be in dollars or it can be in percentage. So let's have a look at a dollar limit first, okay? Depending on the size of the trades you're putting on and the size of your account and various other things, there will be a number at which you don't want to go past. And this is different for everyone. Some people will be happy to have a huge floating drawdown and some people won't. Let's imagine then you have $1,000 account. Some people will be sweating if they're at $100 of drawdown. Others won't be bothered if they're at $900 of drawdown. It's very different for each person, okay? So whatever you're comfortable with, you set yourself a loss limit. Now, if when the market is moving against you, you reach that loss limit and the market does not look like it's going to turn, then guess what? You just close the trade. You take the loss and you exit. And you should have the confidence to do that because this strategy has a very high win rate of 80 to 90%, which means that the loss you just took was probably very likely to be profit anyway. Profit that you made earlier in the week or in previous weeks. And you also know that you're probably going to go back on a big winning streak after taking that loss. And then you're going to make back that money very quickly because it has such a high win rate. So that's an example then of a loss limit. Now that can be in dollars or it can be in percentage. Maybe you are only comfortable with a 10% drawdown, 50%, 70%, whatever it is, you pick that amount, okay, and then you exit at that point. Now the smaller that percentage is, the more often it's going to be hit. That is the reality. And actually, if you pick a loss limit that's too small, you might as well be trading with a stop loss, okay? You'll break the strategy. The next thing then is a point of exit. So what's a point of exit? A point of exit is an actual sort of physical price, a level on the chart where you think, okay, that really is the point of no return. So the first level for me, in this case, if we imagine we put our buy trade on and the market comes down like this, the first place is the 250, the 250 round number. So in this case, it's 38,750. Why would I consider that to be the first place? Well, if we look historically, price has really kicked off some big moves when it reaches this level. It's a very strong level. So if I see price just bomb straight through here, that's the first point I'm going to think, oh, okay, maybe this trade is not going to turn around. Maybe I should exit. The next level would probably be this one, because this actually is what kicked off this huge move. And it's only about 50 points below, ignoring the wick. This point here, let me just Alt-H. It's probably only about another, as you can see, that's roughly 50 pips. So this is sort of, what, 55-ish, something like that. I would say if this level doesn't hold, if price gets through that, then that's probably going to be my point of exit. And the worst thing you can do is this, is just price just keeps plowing in one direction. And you just decide, you know, you're just going to keep adding trades, oops, wrong arrow, all the way down forever, okay? Because you're going to end up with like 20 trades on and your account blows up and you're not going to recover from that. Whereas if you have your risk sensibly, then even when you are forced to take a loss, it will be a fairly comfortable loss and you can have the confidence in the strategy because it's got such a high win rate to know you're going to make it back. You save the account and then over the next couple of days you will recover that loss, okay? So in this video again we've covered points 3 and points 4. So adding to trades when you are wrong, setting a loss limit as an amount in dollars or an amount of percentage of your account, and also having a actual price, a point of exit. And what we've done here is we've really given ourselves a load of breathing room. As you can see, if we were buying right up here, we let the market come all the way down here. It had all this room to move and correct. And if we just look back over to the left, you can see how many times the market has actually done that within this zone. So you can see the breathing space that we're giving the market. And that is what makes this strategy win so much, okay? So please watch this and the previous video again if you're not clear on anything. In the next video, what I'm going to do is talk about choosing an actual bias. So choosing a direction to trade for a longer period, like a day or a week. Okay.